of Colonel Curtis Iaukea, an advisor to Queen Liliuokalani. For Curtis, his interest in wrestling began at an early age.
I used to sell newspapers outside the old Civic Auditorium after the war. I was about 9 years old, around 46, 47. I used to watch, and I'd always was fascinated by it all. So but there was no wrestling in high school here. There was none at all.
While attending Punahou, Iaukea gained athletic fame as an all-star tackle for the Punahou Buff and Blue. After graduating, he left the islands on a football scholarship for the University of California in Berkeley. That's where he won the Andy Smith Trophy for the most time played in a single season. Curtis, however, yearned to play professional football. So in 1958, still a junior in college, the 6'5" Iaukea left for Canada to play for the British Columbia Lions. There he made all-Canadian pro tackle for 2 years in a row.
And I came back here after the season. It was in November of '58, and I was done surfing, and I'm out surfing, and I'm surfing. And I met a gentleman who had, there's no doubt that outside of my father, who had the biggest influence on my life and on me, on my life, from the time I've met him until right now today. And that's Lord Tallyho Blair's. And I met him surfing, and I wanted to be a wrestler, and I asked him.
I looked at Curtis, and I said, Jesus, you know, big, weighed about 285, solid muscle, big, handsome guy, you know.
Curtis returned to Canada to play football for the Montreal Alouettes, and then eventually moved to California to play for the Oakland Raiders. But by then, he became disillusioned with the game and his income of $10,000 a year.
And then I got an offer for wrestling for $30,000 a year and all the food and drink I could eat and drink in Japan through Lord Blair's. Oh, all of a sudden I had it with football, all the whistles blowing all the time, all the rules. There's something about being alone. Maybe it's greed for the spotlight. Maybe it's ego. Because I know I've got a tremendous ego. And I just didn't. I got tired of wearing a helmet where nobody could see me and doing things that I was just another number on a football field.
And from that time forward, the Bull was born.
My name came from the Lord, Curtis the Bull Iaukea. He just liked the way I pulled and everything. I didn't know what I was doing.
Curtis attracted a huge following for his antics in the ring. But it was during the unforgettable locker room interviews that he became a fan favorite.
Here, when I was here in Honolulu, before that, I would always like to start with the sun will never rise over Diamond Head before Nicky Bockwinkel can beat me. I like the sun rising and shining over Diamond, you know. It's going to come up or it's not going to come up, but don't worry, it'll come up because I'm going to win.
His opponent returning to action in Hawaii after a 6-year tour of the world from Makawao, Maui, 285 pounds, Curtis the Bull Iaukea. Referee Wale Tatsumi.
As I look at today now, the wrestling today, I'd say the pace the boys are going at now, they'll be lucky to have a 10-year run. All the bumps come back on you. You're landing on your right side, your knees are the first to go, then your hips, then the small of your back.
It was plain to see that Curtis was destined for stardom. In 1963, Iaukea was also asked to appear as a sumo wrestler in the Three Stooges film around the world in a daze. Even his mentor, Lord Blears, realized the tremendous potential of this Punahou graduate.
He said, Curtis, you're the kind of guy, you don't really know what's going to happen to you yet. You're going to have a fabulous life. He said, you're going to travel, you're going to make money, you're going to have everything you can ever want in your life. He said, but just being around you for a while, he said, your personality, he said, one day, when it's all over, don't ever blame me for introducing you to the wrestling world, because it is the fast lane. You're out there.